Already, Wednesday, 7th of October. Very good morning to you. Hope you're well. And joining me this morning will be the fabulous Guiomar. Looking forward to meeting her in just a second, as you do. And loads to tell you this month. It's probably not going to be the most easiest of months. However, we don't say that with making it feel like it's down in the dumps month. No, there'll be lots of opportunities, and we'll probably see those as we go through. Plus a few leaders to talk about. We'll find this interesting, I'm sure. Anyway, right, okie dokie. Good morning, Elodie. You're up bright and early. It's nice to see. And let's get on with a little bit of intro. Well, very good morning to you. I hope you're well in your lovely world, wherever you are, and enjoying yourself. Enjoy yourselves here, and hopefully you may have some sunshine. You got some sunshine out there? It's quite warm down here in Spain. It's getting nippy now, though. Yes, up and tea in hand, says Emily. That fabulous news. And yes, also just say to you guys here is this is going to be quite an interesting October, to say the very least here. And we think that probably 2020 has been a not the most easiest of years, and yet we still got some more realigning to do. Now, does this mean it's all bad news? Don't think so. Don't think so at all. I think it is just little challenges. But just to give an idea of things, just to give a few hopes out there, let's get on with the show. Let's get on with Guiomar on the show here, and let's talk about maybe a leader of some kind, and maybe things that they're going through and what's going to be going through in their lives. So, without further ado, I'd just like to welcome in the wonderful, wonderful Guiomar. I'll just find out if she's there. Hang on, there goes the doorbell. That must mean she's there. So, good morning. How are you? Good morning,
Phil. Good morning, everybody.
Lovely to see you. Look very, very well.
Thank you. I feel better now.
You feel better now? Oh, good. Yes, I must admit, I did a home move a few days ago, and oh God, me with dust is not good. Sinuses, eyes, all that sort of stuff. Hence my eyes look like they're puff bags at the minute.
You're a Pisces rising, and Pisces is ruled by Neptune, and Pisces and Neptune have to do with the sinuses, with the liquids in the body, right? And so the sinus basically, according to Chinese medicine, is condensed liquid.
Yes.
And even more condensed would be tumors and so forth. Not that you're going to have a tumor or anything like that.
Thank you very much. Cheering me up, Michelle. Yeah.
It has to do with water, with I'm not sure about all this that's going on.
Yes.
Sneaking all this in.
Yes, sometimes, yes. As soon as dust goes up in the air, that's it. It gets up my sinuses and chaos. But there you go. Never mind.
That's the excuse.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. Thank you for your vote of confidence there, Doctor. Dr. Guiomar. Dr. G is on the line. Anyway, good morning, everybody. It's lovely to see you all. Jumping on the show. So we've started off October. We've been through quite a odd year or extreme year already. I don't think any of us who have, even those born in, say, the 50s, have ever seen quite a period like this that we've gone through. And previous people around the First World War would have seen something like this, especially in 1918 when the flu was around them. But that was a world. Yeah, go on. You stick your finger up and say something.
I beg to differ.
Okay, all right.
Because 1966, the year I was born, was a very tumultuous year. The aspects in 1966 are the same aspects that we have now, just in different combinations. Uh-huh. So when now it's a conjunction, before it was an opposition, for example. But in my chart, when I was born, I have a conjunction between Pluto and Uranus in opposition to Saturn and Chiron.
Okay.
So right now, Uranus is with Chiron and Pluto and Saturn are in conjunction, for example. And there are more aspects like this in my chart that resonates with the moment. And so talking about that, what usually happens is people whose chart resonate with like several aspects at one historical moment or one historic epoch, it means that in some way you are meant to contribute with your personal development, with your work, with whatever, with your energy, or you're an actor. Either you contribute or you're an actor or both. Well, it's the same thing at an energetic level. It's your energy. It's playing with the energy of the times, with the zeitgeist. So you're resonating with the zeitgeist. So there's something that you have to contribute to or influence or affect at those time.
Okay. Okay. Very interesting.
So if we want to find an energetic similarity between any past recent time and now, it would be 1966, 65, 67, but especially 66.
I was 2 then, and yes, I think I remember it well.
Yeah. You were very young.
I was very young. I had a good memory.
You were a baby.
I can remember a lot of things going on then. I was reading a newspaper and thinking, my God, this is an old time. Yeah.
You weren't reading a newspaper. You were like 1 or 2 years old.
Well, yeah, but I was a growing lad. I had a positive attitude.
Yeah. No. So yeah, like I have Jupiter in aspect to Saturn and Pluto also in my chart. I have Neptune in aspect to Mars, for example. So it's all these resonances with the times.
Yeah.
So it's really like, and the nodal return soon.
Yes. Yes.
Gemini.
Yes. So, yes.
For me, energetically, it's very intense, even though I'm at a very good point in my life. So I'm very stable and outward, everything is fine. It's inward because I do still project like everybody, but a lot less. So everything happens inward. And for example, this past week has been, since August actually, but this past week especially, it's been so intense inside me. Oof, it's like even the voice of my immature ego was so loud, and I was like, okay, fine. Not fighting against it, but really amazed at how loud it can get. I'm a 4 in Enneagram. I don't know if you guys know Enneagram.
Yes.
But 4 in Enneagram tends like it's being special. So I have this thing about normally being a 4 in Enneagram is being special as less, which means I'm the worst. Nobody loves me. Nobody cares about me. If I die, nothing happens. Nobody would care. This was my entire childhood was like that. And then it's like you have this feeling that you have something special to offer, and it's you really can't help it. But one thing is that the 4, when it's working well, it's like, okay, I'm different. This is who I am, and this is what I'm bringing out into the world, and I'm cool with it, and I'm different. I speak different. I do things different, and I'm cool with it. And if you like it, it's good. And if you don't like it, it's good. That's being a good 4. But when you're a low 4, it's all the time, oh, are they looking at me? Oh, I'm scared. I don't want people to see me, or the other way around. Can't you see me? Can't you see me? Can't you see me? And it's like, oh, my voice, my ego's voice inside my head was like crazy this past few days, and the pain all over my body, because I have a Pluto-Saturn opposition, the pain in my body, it's like, wow.
Oh, I've had that doing this move. Oh, I've had all that. Anyway, just let you know, speaking on behalf of everybody watching this morning, we love you. We know you're special, and we love you. We just want to make sure you're very loved, and what you do here is exceptionally special, and everybody loves it. So there you go. There's a big heart and a big hug. There you go. From everyone here. I know everyone would jump on and say, "Yeah, we love you, Guiomar."
Yeah, no, but I'm saying, because if anybody's found, I think many people have found that these past days very challenging in that respect, like very low, very tired, very low vibes. And when we go down in our vibes, our ego's voice tunes up a lot.
Yes.
And the important thing is not to identify, but when it goes on for a long time, it's kind of difficult sometimes.
Absolutely. And I think sometimes
yes,
I think sometimes you actually start probably start to think of all the worst things rather than all the positive things. And
Exactly.
yes, it gets a bit challenging and a little bit like that, doesn't it? And we start to feel a little bit like insecure within ourselves. Oh, everything that we thought was right isn't right. And everything that we
Exactly.
were thinking, no, 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 it's okay. No, all of a sudden it isn't okay. Yes, I
Exactly.
think
So
that's,
I feel like this energy has been going, especially since August and September, and it's like this last week it's just gotten to a point where it's so difficult because it's an energy that pulls you. Thank you, Eleni. It's an
yes,
energy that pulls you to the past. Like you're brooding in the past, you're looking at the past, you're going through past patterns and everything, and it's like I want to look forward. I want to look forward. And it's like, nope, it's not happening. So now, and this has a lot to do with Scorpio and Pluto, right? So
mm-hmm,
Pluto has stationed right now. So
yeah,
it's in next week, it will go forward. But it's still in that, it's just been retrograde all this time, which means if Pluto is always looking at the past, if it's retrograde, it's even more looking at the past. It's pulling you back because it's necessary. It's to see, okay, can you see your ego, like your immature ego? Ego, I want to always insist, is not a bad thing. The problem is when it's an immature ego, it requires so much attention that you're not free to be who you are.
yes,
So we want to take advantage of this past few days and realize what is that voice inside your head that was requiring so much attention from you that you couldn't get away from it? Because
that's so
that's
interesting.
your immature ego. So if you're actually able to identify that, you go, okay, I got it. I understand. This is how my immature ego works. I have clarity now from this, no? And then the immature ego is nothing but a little baby that you have to take care of. So in my case, if my ego demands attention, I have to give myself more attention.
Now, this is an interesting point because I've actually had a conversation with a few people recently, and their sort of symptoms or the situations they've been going through is exactly this: going through this in a child, this in a baby, and working with these people is actually working with them to say, here, look, probably the worst thing to do is to go and get support for everyone else. Like, for instance, when everyone else got to feed it for
Yeah,
it. It's about you feeding yourself, nurturing yourself.
exactly.
That's the biggest thing. And that's interesting. And I think here for a lot of us who go through challenging times at the moment, if we are feeling crap, we're feeling down, feed yourself. Well, all right, okay, it could be food if you're a bit hungry, but it's nurturing yourself. It's to make you feel better about yourself, but it's not vanity. It's definitely not
Exactly.
vanity.
So, for example, it's just inspiring me to use you an example without really knowing what your case is,
Thank you
but
very
knowing that
much.
you're Pisces rising,
Yep, I'm
and
going
that
to
you have
get pulled
stuffy
apart
nose.
now.
So based on that, I'm going to invent your situation because I want it to serve it as another example of what we're talking about, right? So if anybody, by the way, if anybody wants to jump in with anything, just ask, just write it down, and we can get into that too.
Yep.
So here you are, you've just moved house.
Yep.
And you have a stuffy nose.
Yes.
So what would Pisces rising feel that would make his nose stuffy when you move house? Well, you feel lost. So it's like, I don't know what to do. You're in a new house, everything is in a different place. You're not sure about, you've kind of acquired some stability where you were before. Now you're moving again. And it's like, I feel lost. I feel lost. So your inner baby felt lost when you were a child, most likely, So it's about giving you yourself that structure, that order, that little routine that would help you get back into a secure feeling of being in order, being structured, and not being lost, instead of relying on, say, for example, your partner, your wife, who's also a Capricorn, to, please put everything into place. I don't know, I'm inventing things, but you get my drift, right?
Yes, trying to find things once you moved home. Definitely trying to find things. Like, where's this? Where's that? No, but I do understand. I do agree with you. Exactly what you mean there. It's when you do a shift or a change, it's exciting in many ways. But that first week, I think of, for me, especially moving home, is like, oh God, oh, what's happened?
Exactly. What have I done?
What have I done?
Yeah. I'm in the middle of devastation and everything's gone. Oh my God, I need security. So you want to give yourself the security, the structure, the routine. You know, the opposite sign of Pisces is Virgo. You want to give yourself that,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So I see, for example, Eleni says, I feel like shit. I feel like booking a break abroad to get away.
And
right?
then she says, but I have responsibilities.
Yeah. So, for example, what comes to me with this could be something on the lines of, okay, so you want to get away, you want to be free, then you have to get yourself out of the shit. So shit is very Scorpio. What's the opposite sign of Scorpio? It's Taurus. So maybe, Eleni, you need, Taurus is about the earth, the grounding. You need some grounding. You need to get out and go into nature.
Yep.
Maybe that will make your energies move and feel better.
I was going to suggest that.
Energies have been very stuck.
Yes. I don't think it's probably the right time. I know you want to take a break to go abroad. Probably a nice idea. It may not be the greatest of times to do this just at present, but to do exactly that, though, to go out into the countryside and do things, even if it's gardening or cleaning up the leaves as your leaves come off the tree.
So it doesn't matter how many responsibilities you have. You first take care of yourself. You first put your oxygen mask on and then the child's oxygen mask. So everybody should be able to get, maybe an hour or 2 hours just to take a walk, breathe fresh air, or go to the countryside, depend wherever, no?
Yes, I agree with you.
Deborah says, I am the organized one. Let
yes,
him organize himself.
That hasn't come up on my screen yet, but yes, she is the organized one, definitely. Yeah. I hate that. This is terrible. This is what's all this ganging up and going on here. Deborah's Sarah Katrina says, Deborah, I believe you. What's going on here? This is hang on. I think there's I think I just need to clear the air here a little bit. That's it. Anybody there who thinks yeah. Oh dear. Anyway, right, yes, I'll just have a word with the producer, see what she's saying to everybody else. I think she's... oh, here she goes. Yeah, she's definitely throwing it in one. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. That's the producer there. Yeah. Okay, yes, Jim Bob, haven't seen you guys in ages, let alone seen you guys in ages. And Maria says live. Yes, or live, or love. Live. Yes. Maria, I think what you mean here, Maria, is just live. Yes, is that what you mean? I think it is. What a great statement. A lady economical with words. We could say. Okay. And Jim Bob says, am I too late for a question? No, it's all right. You can send in the question. Just need your date of birth. Just need a question and favourite colour. But in the meantime, though, we're discussing this. Yeah, I'm being analysed here. But, secretly pulled apart. But I do agree with you. Pisces rising is like order. Is like order in normal worlds here with Pisces rising? No. What's order? What's order? I was even in the military, and even Deborah says to me, she says, how did you cope in the military? I said, fine. It's great. Fine. Anyway, it's easy.
He told you what to do.
Yeah, everyone told you what to do. It's easy. You know exactly where to go.
Having other people tell you what to do.
Yeah, but then after a while, you grow up and you start thinking, I don't like being told what to do.
Phil, this is about taking care of your inner baby. We're using you as an example.
Thank you very much. I feel being very nurtured. Very nurtured.
I'm just. Other people take care of you. It's about you taking care of you.
I'm doing that right now. What a lovely morning. Maria says cheeky monkey. That's her favourite word. Everything is about cheeky monkeys. Maybe you got a zoo going on there somewhere. Maybe there's something. She meant love. Anyway, good. So, okay. So here we are. We're very early days of October. And we're also going to talk about presidential elections. About presidents. That gave it away, didn't it? I'm more famous in politics, and there's not many presidents out there we recognise, but there is one. Yes. Oh dear. And okay, so there we go. Right, Jean, thank you very much for your question. There, we need your date of birth and you've written down a word there I don't understand. It says clout. What does clout mean? What's clout? I think you mean something else. Can you tell me what's going to happen? My clout is pink today. Oh, my colour is pink today. Yeah, you need your date of birth there. Date of birth there. And your question. Right, just seeing what you mean there. Okie dokie. Right, yes, so let's have a little chat about a certain president. Now, it's interesting here, just before we came live, we were going to discuss this, and I thought, yes, fabulous. It'd be lovely to do. What a nice time.
Because I'm fascinated by the figure of Donald Trump.
Okay.
Okay, because for me, he's a spiritual teacher. Because so we have to understand that from an astrological perspective, I like to see people's energies. So one thing is a person's energy, and another thing is a person's ego and his behavior. It's two different things. So it doesn't matter what somebody's behavior is. It's the energy that actually is doing the influence.
Okay.
Okay. So, for example, I don't know, in Spain, the previous president and the actual president have their Lilith in Scorpio. And Lilith in Scorpio, it's about unearthing past traumas. And there's one thing that this country has pending is the resolution of the Civil War. There's a lot of wounds from the Civil War that haven't been healed. So we need to bring that up, right? So the next step would be somebody with Lilith in Sag or Lilith Jupiter, Lilith ninth, that would help just bring that into integration.
Yeah.
For example. So it's not about what the person does. It's not about the politician, for example. It's about his energy. And when we're talking about a leader, his energy is going to influence everybody underneath him.
The pyramid effect.
In the hierarchy where he is inserted.
Yes.
Right? So anybody who is in an important position, and especially if they resonate with the zeitgeist, with the ghost of the times, with the spirit of the times.
Yes. I love that word.
They're going, yeah, me too. They're going to influence, unbeknownst to them, the entire population. Mm-hmm. So I love the figure of Donald Trump. I also love the figure of Vladimir Putin.
Yes.
I mean, not them as human beings. They're kind of nasty, but they're not ethically. I don't like how they behave as human beings, but their charts are fascinating, right? So Donald Trump is a Gemini.
Yeah.
And his sun in Gemini in the 10th house. So the 10th house is the house of prestige,
honors.
And, Gemini is all about communication and thinking and doing many things and commerce, right? And his sun is conjunct Uranus. So that means he's a game changer. He's somebody who's there to break the system, basically. And his sun Uranus is in opposition to the moon, which means totally he's here to his moon in the 4th house in Sagittarius. That's his totalitarianism, and it's within his south mode. So that totalitarianism, that I am the leader of the homeland and we are the best, that's his moon. It's not his sun acting.
Yeah.
And so he's got, south node, north node, these are pulling. So he's here to change the game, to break, to make things different, to make a country more equal, to be more egalitarian with everybody, which is the Uranus. It's in Gemini, it's in the 10th house. He's here to bring change. He's here to bring equality. Of course, the human being, he works like he's resonating with his moon, with his immature ego. I mean, he is from the Pluto and Leo generation. Mm-hmm. And Pluto and Leo's in his 12th house, so he doesn't even know how that works. And Pluto is without any aspect, so he really does not know how his unconsciousness works. Like it's conscious awareness, 0 or -50.
Yes, or
right?
it's just unconscious
that's
becomes
going to be
conscious.
for his entire life. There's nothing that's going to make him conscious or aware of what he is and how he works, even though from his delusions of grandeur, he might have like a feeling of like there's something great about him. It's true, but not in the sense he's thinking of.
Yeah.
So his North Node is here to change the game, and it's like, okay, how is he going to change the game? First, everybody's like, right now, everybody's polarizing from one side to another, which is to expect, because his Lilith is in Sagittarius in the 4th house. So Lilith in Sagittarius is saying, it's talking about that integration, like I was saying before. Look at the polarities. Can you see how big they are? And they are in the
Enormous.
fourth house. They are at home. We have huge polarities at home. That's what Lilith in Sagittarius in the fourth house is doing. So it's like his chart would be like America's chart while he's there.
Yeah.
Being a president, right? So huge division, huge polarities, begging for some sort of integration. And what Lilith does there normally is integration via some tragic event. So we have the Black Lives Matters movement, and people getting killed, and that's pretty big, but it feels like it's going to be even bigger. It has to be somebody that you won't expect, that has something tragic happens to that person or some people to help and aid that integration.
Okay.
So it happens in that sense, because the change has to be produced while he's there, right? And then more on a personal level, it's in whatever he does, his sun Uranus is going to bring awareness to people about how important it is to work together as equals. So he's bringing that to America in whichever way. He could do it from a conscious level, which is not likely with his chart, but he could do it. He most likely will do it from an unconscious level.
Okay.
At the same time, he's now on his nodal return. So nodal returns are like Saturn returns, big crisis time. The node is 1 degree from his node. So this month's going to be critical for him. And he's just caught coronavirus.
Yes.
So that's very interesting. And Saturn is in opposition to his Saturn. So Saturn is about limits and structures and being aware and how you're doing things and are you conscious. And in his chart, Saturn conjunct Venus is in his 11th house, right, in Cancer. So that Saturn-Venus in Cancer talks about, his entire chart talks about how his parents didn't like each other and they didn't like him. He was pretty much hated by mom and dad at the same time. So he's been rejected his entire life. And I don't know if you remember before he was married, and I haven't checked, I didn't get time to check, but he was married to Ivana Trump.
Yes, that's right.
And I think that marriage also split because that was about 30 something years ago, right?
Yeah, at least. Yes, I think it was about then. Yes. 30. Yeah.
So I think it's about the same. It should be more or less about the same time he had a previous nodal return. I'm not too sure on this, but anyway. So that marked his life. That really killed him. It doesn't matter how much a womanizer he was, and if he went off with other women, and his bad behavior. He really relies on relationship. That's what his chart says.
I totally agree with that, because I think his relationship to Ivana, I think she was one of the stable points to him. And
yes.
one of the pillars to his success where he's going to go. And actually him losing her was, not a good move on his part. And it's probably going to be quite interesting, because I don't think this particular period of time we're going through is going to be particularly easy for him either through personal relationships. And
it's really hard.
Yes.
Yeah. And that would break his heart again.
Yes.
He's got a heart. I mean, he's actually somebody very sensitive, but if you get a sensitive boy born in a tough neighborhood and brought up with hatred and rejection, you're going to get his empathy, because he has it. He's a moon and Lilith in the fourth house. He's very sensitive.
Yes.
And Lilith Neptune. He's very sensitive. So what's going to happen is that that sensitivity, he's going to project it outwards, and as he does, he will bully anybody who shows some weakness, because that's reflecting his inner vulnerability. And don't forget, right now, we're at this point where we've been accumulating tension and seeing our egoic mechanism and feeling the vulnerability of on the one hand being tired of that egoic mechanism, and then really realizing that that's about a very hurt inner child.
Yes.
So
yes.
These days for him must have been very critical in that sense, very much in touch in his way with that vulnerability. And very likely the way I feel about it, it's like Well, probably his wife. Something's going to happen there. I don't know. Maybe she asked for divorce because women like her, like Melania. Like, what's she doing with a guy like him? For God's sake, So I can only imagine there's a beautiful credit card between them.
Yes, it's a golden one with diamonds in and everything. Yeah.
Exactly. So once she has her future secured, and if she sees the boat is sinking, she's probably just going to go her own way and get the best of it from a divorce, depending on the contract they have. But
interesting here. Interesting. Sarah, come back to you in a little while. Eleni says here, apparently I heard Trump's wife is now waiting for after elections and then leave him. Oh dear. Well, relationships are very. They can be game changers in life, can't they? In many levels, not just relationship. Is your whole structure of life can just completely uproot. Yes. Oh dear, oh dear. Anyway, right. So, good morning, everybody. This is the Astrology Show, Spiritual Astrology Show. My name is Phil Griggs. This is Guiomar and Guiomar Ramirez-Montesinos. Have I said that right?
No.
Okay, never mind. Never mind.
Well, you said it as with an English accent.
Yes, of course. Well, I am English, so I get away with it. That's okay. And right, okay. So we're discussing a lot's going on at the minute. So October, little discussion about October. It's poised to be a little bit of a challenging time. Loads of squares coming on. The squares are 90 degrees challenging angles. I tend to, in a sense, like these because I think that if we have something that challenges us, it only makes us better. Because every too many trines, we tend to get a little bit lazy, and when nothing really happens, it's like, okay, we all would like to have like lazy, easy days, but if the energy is too nice, we get a bit bored. So it looks like we've got a few squares coming up. Do you think it says, I know some of the magazines and some of the astrologers, different magazines, they're writing this off to be, oh God, it's the worst month of the year. Do you think it's as bad as that?
I think we've gotten used to it. So we have to understand crisis always in the context of crisis.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
It's not like you say, oh my God, Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn are together. Yeah, but this has been building up since 2008. So it's like, we're used to it.
Yeah.
We know what it's like to have Pluto energy in Capricorn. We've been having it for the last, 2008? What year are we in? 12 years? So it's not like something new. So it was more dramatic for us because we didn't expect it in March when it hit us at the beginning of the year. But I think now we're more used to moving in those waters, so we've adapted more. Mm-hmm. And it's really about a time of really connecting with you, giving yourself what you need, making like a list of what is really good for you and what isn't, what you want, what you don't want. It's not a time for action yet, as I said at the beginning, and when we started these broadcasts. Action, I think, will come more towards the end of the year, December. But we're still like putting all the pieces together inside before we do that. And we are, in a way, also building up the momentum for that movement forward.
Okay.
Right? In my little spacious tarot.
They're lovely cards they are. Deborah loves them.
The card that came up for today was the Chariot.
Chariot, okay, yes.
So I love this depiction of the chariot because it really conveys the movement of the chariot. It's the chariot card relates to Cancer energy, and Cancer energy is a lot about like the cooking energy, or imagine a big heavy cart with big wooden wheels, very going over stones, and it's like yes. that. That's the kind of energy. So this is like a river going through a gorge.
Yep.
And you can see how the water is like really building up strength as it goes through a narrow slot. So that's the energy of, it's like accumulating energy, and we're slowly starting to go forward. I mean, Pluto has been retrograde, so that's a lot of inertia pulling us looking at the past, but now it's stationary, and it will go direct on the 8th or 9th, I think it is.
Yes, very slowly starts to move and changes direction there. with the Chariot card, I always like this as well, because it's not just about physical movement. We think it was about travel, going on holidays. For Eleni, she may think, great, if I got that card, it'd be great to go on holidays. But some of the stuff that's a little bit important here with this is that the Chariot is also showing a white horse and a black horse in normal astrology cards. And sometimes that's about seeing things from two different points of view. And having to make a decision on something to change your life, where you're going to, where you're going from, where you're going to. And that thing about the rolling, the wheels rolling over the pebble stones, really is the thought process is, yeah, I understand, really going through there to take you from one place to another. So you're always checking what you're sort of doing. Yes, it's a very interesting card, very powerful card of change. And often whether we're changing ourselves or what, but yes. We've got loads coming up this month. We've also got Mercury retrograde coming. Thank you. That's the producers say here, just dropping more bombshells into October. She's got Mars retrograde, and then got the little naughty boy Mercury is going to go retrograde, just to completely throw things up in the air. But as I say, though, we've all been used to this. We've been watching this. Yeah, good. Okay, so how are you guys out there? Hope you're well. And I think what we're going to do, let's pop around the corner. Let's go and have a little chat. Let's go and have a little chat with some of you. Now, there's a little bit of an issue, tiny issue with get a producer's notes up on the screen. I know exactly what it is, so by next time that'll be rectified, totally rectified. The producer there is probably standing there with a whip saying, this had better be rectified. Anyway, so, but Jim Bob, let's come back to you. Because you wrote in, you said, my favourite colour is the rainbow. I have an offer investment for my business. It's not the best route to take. Is it the best route to take? Sorry. Not sure if it's the right person. What's interesting here is that this is, I would put yourself by this in a power place. In a power place for yourself, because I think here, Jim Bob, one of the things I'd say here is you're a master number 11. So if this is not sure if this is the right person, then why is it you're not sure this is the right person? Because I would say here that you've got to put yourself at the top, and then everybody else needs to feel right underneath you. If it's not, being the numbers that you are there, otherwise it won't work. It won't work. If you've got uncertainty here, then you need to really look at this very closely. And as I look at your numbers, even coming up for this year, looking at this, it's interesting actually. Yes, it spells out you've got a 2-9-11 in your chart, and what's resonating out this year is your 9 energy. So it's endings and beginnings. It's about letting go of the past, going to the beginnings here. I would say to you here, looking at your numerology chart and just looking at this, I would really play out time to understand why you're saying here, is this not sure if he's the right person. I would look at this very, very closely indeed as to why you are feeling this.
Phil, what's the birth date?
05/10/1985.
Sorry?
05/10/1985. It's should be up on the screen there. Sorry, should be up on the screen.
19 what? No, I can't see it.
Okay, 1985. 05/10/1985.
1995. 05/10. So first of all, happy birthday.
Yeah, we've just gone past that, haven't we? Yes, happy birthday. Happy birthday. And yes, hello, Elizabeth. Hello. Yes, I love October, says Jim Bob. Yes, I wonder why. And Dawn Hawkins says, hello, I'm new. Hello, very nice to meet you. Yes, I think it's quite funny. It's like when people say, hi, I'm tired. And good morning, tired. No, sorry, being sarcastic. But Dawn, lovely to meet you. Hello, hope you're well. Welcome to the show.
Yeah. Well, Jim Bob has moon in Gemini. So the moon in Gemini loves doubting. Loves doubting. And the North Node in Taurus loves relying on others for an opinion.
Yes. That's brilliant.
Of course, she's a Libra, so that's Libras tend to doubt. So here, the important thing is, I think that the other voice that you should rely on is the voice of your intuition, not
Yes.
somebody else's external voice.
Yes. 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 So this is what I'm trying to get you to do, Jim Bob, is listen to you. Yes.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, like Gemini loves to doubt because Gemini feels comfortable with many options. It's like, oh, but if I decide, imagine like a box full of candies or bonbons, and it's like, oh, which one should I take? The blue one, the red one, the green one? Okay, but if I take the green one, then I'm not taking the blue one or the red one. Oh my God. And then maybe the blue one is great. And then if I take the blue one, then I'm not taking the green one, but then I'll miss out on the green one and the red one. Oh my God, what do I do? So this is what Moon in Gemini loves doing, but it kind of sucks at the end. I mean, my Moon is in the third house, so I know what it's like. Third house is ruled by Gemini. And it's more about like learning to really take a decision. It doesn't matter what it is, because it really doesn't matter, because you're not really choosing. I mean, we think our little egos are choosing what we're deciding. We're not. We suddenly choose something, and if you really look back on your choices, it's been driven by something that is way beyond you. So it's your higher self that's pushing you to take a decision, making you feel this or that way at a certain moment. So the thing is that there's never a wrong decision ever. So you might as well just jump and make a decision, whichever one it is, because you'll always have an experience. We think that we should avoid bad experiences, but that's not true. We should never avoid experiences, because the more smaller experiences we have, the easier life will be. The big mistake people make is that they want to avoid the little, like, I want to make the right decision, very tiny things, and then life's going to accumulate the energy and it's going to really break it. Like if you're not making those little decisions, then you're going to have to make a big one, and it's going to you're going to suffer through it. So you do want to take all the decisions, just jump into it. Just, it doesn't matter. Choose one thing, go for it, have the experience, whether it be better or worse, but have the experience.
Your cards come up here first of all, but there's Seven of Rods, which is reversed. And one of the things this is actually saying here is there's something else to talk about. Maybe there's other things you talk about with this. And this is what's holding us back, which is the Hangman here, just keeping you a little bit. It's not saying you're not going to. It's not saying you are going to. Finally, I would say here, though, and I actually agree with you, Guiomar, is that you're going to iron this out. You're going to think about things a little while. Then, yes, you'll find this is very secure. You've got the Emperor. So it's security with this. May take, I think you've got to feel right in this yourself. And I think you need to just talk about a couple other details there just to reassure yourself.
You know what I did a long time ago, Phil? Like when I was a teenager, I played intuition. So I played on my intuition. So, for example, I would be riding my moped, and I would just feel and I would intuit when somebody was going to go left, right, or whatever in front of me, or when I was going to cross somebody after a curve. So I would just develop my intuition with all these little, like, absurd little things in life. And that way, that allowed me to really recognize in my body the exact feeling of when I am intuiting and when I am thinking.
There's two different parts there, isn't there? I agree with you. Wow. Okay. Very good morning to everybody who's joining the show. Lovely to see so many of you lovely new people on the show too. So that's a welcoming sign there. Thank you very much for coming in. Jim Bob, hope that helps out here. Now, just nipping down the road I've just seen here too. We've got a very nice chap out there. Very nice chap. I'm just finding it very quickly. Here he is. And he says, Sarah says, my boy is listening. He wants to know more about cancer. The sign of Cancer. So just very quickly here, we could just drop in here and say, this is a very nice water sign. Very friendly people. Love the home. You don't think they're nice people at all?
No, they are beautiful people, but the thing is, there's more to the sign of Cancer than meets the eye, no? Yeah. So every sign comes from the previous sign, and the previous sign to Cancer is Gemini. So in our level of consciousness on the planet, we're still very resonating at a very low vibe of each sign, which means when you see a Cancer person, you're going to see a lot of Gemini energy. In other words, Gemini is mind.
I think he's about 4 years. I think he's about 5 years old, 6 years old.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So
So you've got to put
Cancer's
this in
energy.
layman's terms.
Cancers are very emotional, but because those emotions are coming from thoughts, from
Okay.
interpretation, from the mind,
Okay.
and they have difficulties of really holding those emotions. And
Okay.
what usually happens with Cancer, where it be sun, moon, or rising sign, is that mommy is very overprotective
Yeah.
because she's defending. She's like, when we have a baby and we're like really like, imagine life's a bit of a mess in some aspects of my life, and I don't like things that are going on, but it's like, okay, I have a child and I'm going to dedicate myself to this child, and I'm just going to forget about all this. And every time I look, it's like, I want to do something different, but it's okay. I'm with my baby and I'm going to dedicate myself to a baby. So this is what somebody who with sun, moon, or Cancer has as a mom. Um, it's this boy, mom, is somebody who needs her own space, who needs to create something on her own, who needs to have some space, like, I don't know, a business, or take care of yourself, or
Okay.
do something on your own that is not dependent on others.
Okay. I think he's a very young little boy. He's just saying here that her son is watching the show. He's about 5 years old. He's the Cancerian. So I think he just wants to know a little bit more about the sign. So he's a very caring soul, and I think here that very beautiful soul. So I think so he should go out there thinking life. He's a wonderful, perfect little guy who wants to make friends with everybody. So brilliant.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. But still, Phil, what I'm saying is that the mom, you need your space.
Oh yes, Mum needs her
Cultivate your
space. Yes,
space.
yes, Mum needs her.
Do your thing. Because if you don't do your thing, that Cancer energy can go off balance.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's probably a very
Cancer, when
strong
it's
point.
vibrating high, it's such a warm, beautiful energy. It's absolutely incredible. But for that, mom has to be in the right place.
Let's brilliant. Thank you very much. Right, let's go down to let's have a little word with Sam Cortez. She just joined the show, and she says here, "Color pink. When's the home move?" She's gone. Ella, you wrote in there about health. We can't answer about health, unfortunately. But Sam Cortez, she's 13th to the 3rd, 1977. 13th, 3rd, 1977. And also, I'd like to say there, now the colour purple, very, very strong energy with the colour purple. I tend to like that energy very much. And especially when I look at this here, there's you also got loads of threes in your chart as well. 4, 7, and 4, 7. I'm just quickly adding that up there. And because I'd say here as well, but the first part here, the 1 and 3 making a 4, very good for a guy, home stuff. 4 and 3, 7, 8, 22. 224, well, you're actually designed very much to be very much a homemaker, especially with your 4 numbers. 4 numbers are very, very strong in your chart. And also what I say with these as well, you've got a 2-2 part here. That's interesting because sometimes that's duality. But it's also, you've got a very powerful set of numbers here for you. And when home move is going to look place here, I would say here, probably if I was to say a good time for this would be more towards the end of the year, especially coming out late November and coming to December. They'll be the most harmonious times. There was an opportunity to have moved probably more recently, but I think here the better ones are going to be a little bit later in the year. Hopefully that's something that you would like to experience yourself maybe towards the end of the year. But I think you'll be in a better place then, and I think a home move would move a lot smoother by then. How would you feel, Guiomar?
Well, she's a Pisces, so Pisces is it's a very beautiful energy too. It's another water sign, conjunct Mercury, so it's a sign that is a very good organizer. I'm not like so much on the what's going to happen, so I'm not going to answer the question exactly. But I don't know if anything else. There's an inaspected Capricorn moon.
Ah, okay.
So that kind of like emotionally, it can close you up a lot, but it can also make you very stable. Somebody very, very stable. Somebody that is really good for supporting others. So what would be interesting to know, I know it's not the issue here, but is what are the reasons of moving? No, because so the important thing when you do is that you're there to support others to help them move along with their things.
Okay.
That combination, because there's a North Node in Libra, Saturn in Leo. So it's all about you being solid for others and allowing others to move and change.
Okay.
So I don't know how that would play in with the question, but that's the feeling I get.
Okay, well, looking at your cards here, they're saying, well, yes. At the moment, no. I'm looking at your cards here saying no. I would say here that time to come up later on would be yes. But I wouldn't say it's a good idea at the minute. I think anything you try to at the minute would create, you have a feeling of difficulties, a feeling like, oh God, this isn't going right. Oh God, this isn't right. It's almost like something inside, I would say here, Sam, something inside your intuitive soul here would be saying here, if you moved or changed your life right now, it would feel odd. It would feel challenging. It would feel like there's conflicts going on here. And also, it may be here other people involved in your home move may not be in exactly the same sync as you. Maybe something is not quite right there, as in not all in agreement. And I think we need that stability for you to feel good. But towards the end of the year, yeah, I think it will be a lot better then. Okay, right. Let's have a look down here. Now, it's interesting climbs at the minute, isn't it? I mean, through October itself, do you think there would be anything... what's the benefits about October? Because we've got these challenging times coming up. If we looked about what could actually change our lives around us, what would it be?
Well, it's in general for our hemisphere, October is fall, and fall is a time of going inward and reflecting on oneself.
Yep.
And together with all that Scorpio energy, it's really about clearing the cellar. Basically, it's clearing all the old stuff.
That's a good way of putting it. I think if people have been holding on to the stuff they need to let go of, it probably is, whether it's a physical thing or an emotional thing or a personal thing. I think that's probably one of the best ways, I think, is probably to go and do this. Right, okay, Bernadette, you've written in here, and she's gone into about, we can't answer that type of question, unfortunately. Because it's involves something to do with legal stuff, so we unfortunately can't do that. But thanks for watching the show. Anyway, if there's anything else we can help you with, we'll be more than happy to. Right, okay, moving on here. Let's have a little look. See who else has just come in here. Dawn Hawkins, she writes in here and she says, this is interesting. 8th, 11th, 1980. Will things get better? So lost my home, been waiting on my unemployment, just had a breakup. Oh my goodness, everything's gone AWOL here. So I think will be an absolute pleasure to try and help you with anything that's going on in your life here. And just looking at your numbers here to help you out. Well, you're a 283. You're a 283 or 230 actually 30. You're a 2830. So in your numerology, that's interesting. It's interesting here because one of the first things I say to you to help yourself out here, Dawn, is may well be here. It's although you've gone through all these difficulties and life has just about thrown everything it could at you for you to just go splat and feel like you just fall on your face, and yet. No, you haven't really. You'll come back up smiling. You'll come back up with a changed life, and it may well be by the end of the year that you'll see a very changed and very positive life by that time. And I think here that so keep going. I would say here first of all, your numbers here are very powerful because your 28 is powerful in your numerology. Your 2 is about forming relationships and creating understanding. One of it is within yourself, and the other part is the external world around you. That's either through new relationships, through new people, or even a new environment. But it, first of all, is the relationship with yourself, which is a 2-part. And I'll say, no matter what you've gone through, you're here. All the things could we say here possibly, but all the things you lost here gives you a clean slate to redesign, restart your life again. And your 8 power there is amazing, because I think you're going to see a complete change in your life for the most for the better part of the year, and especially coming through the end of the year, I think your energies then will really start to lift. You'll feel very strong about yourself. Also, with these energies here, your 3-0 here is once you're in your good form here, Dawn, I would say you're quite a social dynamite. Dynamite as in the communication with people. Your 3-0 is pretty good. You've got a karmic 0 here, and it depends what you want to fill that 0 with. Do you want to fill it with positivity, or do you want to pick it up with like other people's dramas? That's what are some of the things I'd say to you here with this. But I'd say you've got, it's interesting. Even looking, in fact, I'll come back with your numbers for the year in a moment and your tarot. I'd like to pass you up to Guiomar to see what she says there.
Yeah, so you've got like all your planets are Libra and Scorpio. It's like Jupiter, Saturn, Venus, Pluto, and Lilith in Libra, and then Mercury, Sun, Moon, and Uranus in Scorpio. Neptune, Mars in Sagittarius, Chiron in Taurus, and North Node in Leo. So it's like you could be a yoga teacher with this. There's somebody who does body work and helps other people to connect with their body. So
yes,
you have to do that yourself. And yeah, there's a lot of relationship issues in your chart because you're supposed to relate to people from the best of you to the best of them. That's what you have to learn. But with Sun, Moon, Uranus in in Scorpio, and in aspect to Pluto and Lilith, it was not like very nice at home when you were a kid. So your relationship models are not very good, and that made you basically dissociate South Node in Aquarius and just be like very much in your mind and just going with what everybody else is thinking. So it's more about you owning your choices and realizing that the models you had of relationships were a bit not the healthiest. So do something different. Do something different. And this is your opportunity. When everything breaks down, it's an opportunity to really leave those old patterns that don't serve us anymore.
Do you know what I think is so fascinating by that? I think this is super, super strong. And you've got, for this year, you've got a 145 in numerology for this year. So it was interesting. At some point or another, this world around you was going to move on, and probably for the better reason it did, as you'll probably look back and see that. The one part here is about forming a oneness. So everybody that you're meeting in your life fits in on your resonating, your positivity. Anybody's out of this, not going to work. So this is about you taking your power back on this. The 4 energy, this is something that's quite interesting with you, because I think here that your structure within yourself, how you feel about yourself and what you want and where you want to be, is what's going to be important. That then comes up to a radical number 5. I love 5s. 5s are terrific energies because you're just going to go and do whatever it is you want to go and do. But do it under the purpose of your 145 and this energy around you that you've got with you. Go and redesign your life, and you'll make it a wonderful life if you take ownership and power for yourself. And you'll just do famously. I think it's lovely, lovely, lovely. Wendy, very nice. We got a lovely lady here from Melbourne, Australia. Hello, good. I imagine it's good evening to you guys. Good evening to you. Yeah, it's lovely to see people coming around from all different parts of the globe. Anyway, right, okay, very quickly there, just looking at your cards there. Let's have a look. And I would say here for you, Dawn, because I think it's a... oh, for goodness sake. You're going to be coming into... You'll make a new job. It's going to come out in front of you. You're going to redesign, Dawn, redesign your emotional life here, thinking sometimes, hey, I just need some space, just need to be on my own. And then the other part here is yes. Do you know what? You're not going to be stuck without choices. You'll have loads of choices to make in your life in front of you. And you'll be starting a new business, making money very soon. You'll be redesigning your life. And slowly, slowly, the acorn grows into a tree. Slowly, slowly. And she says, thanks so much. And that's lovely. Right, we've come right to the end of the show. But Wendy and everybody else who's written in here, we do this show on Wednesday mornings, which starts at 11 o'clock here in Spain, 10 o'clock UK, and 8 p.m. in Australia. So, which I just worked out for, especially you guys in Melbourne. And so, if you'd like to be on next week's show, please write in your details, your question, your date of birth. It's far easier if we do this before the show rather than during it, because we get distracted from the screen, as you could probably see. But we'd love to get your questions before the show starts. So, but we're pumping that information out there to you. Please share the page, and we're also on YouTube. Exactly the same show is on YouTube and at Cafe Clairvoyance. But Guiomar, once again, thank you so much for joining in the show and for all the input we had this morning. It's absolutely amazing. Thank you. And hope everybody got a reading. you got some positivity out there. For those who didn't get a reading, hope you enjoyed all the chat and the banter that went on. And thank you so much to also the producer Deborah and to Batchy, the dog who's now barking, and Guiomar. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Phil. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, thank you. See you all soon. I'll be back on Sunday at 7 p.m. Spain time. And till then, see you very soon. And very busy week next week. Tell you guys then on Sunday what's coming up. In the meantime, thank you very much. Take care. Big love and a burger. Love, burger. It is all the same. It's all the same. Take care.